ladies and gentlemen, we come to the last part of today's class, which is going to be dedicated to fluency, giving our opinions on a very important subject, which is digital well-being. So now we move on to Lalla Malak Akhtil before we go to Tangier to meet Lalla Hajar.
Thank you, teacher. So actually I have chosen the...
Can you turn on your cam, please? Can you turn on your cam? Because we have a picture there.
Okay, thank you. Well, actually I have chosen the 51.8% of people use social media because of boredom as a data. Actually, I expected more than 51.8% because when we have free time, we can really find people doing or practicing other things, or they actually just use their phones instead. We don't have too much to do because we're not busy. This is why for me, being busy, it's a good thing. We just use our phones to remove boredom or tediousness. For me, it is because of the environment where we live. This is why, for me, I really accuse our families in terms of this because everyone is busy with his phone on weekends. Why not trying to gather at least once or twice a week with our families, doing some activities, sharing our current situations, being open with them, and like we should know how to trust our families and being open with them and not being shy the most possible as we can. Why not watching some movies together as well? I'm not saying that we should always or often get away from our phones or social media in general, but we should know how to balance everything in our life. It always requires, as the quote goes, it always requires education. Well, awareness as well to use the internet as a tool of development, like developing our mindsets, developing our way of living, and being good with technology.
Hajar, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So adults are checking their phones an average of 50 times per day. That's too much. And imagine a young child is checking his phone for an average of 80 times more than an adult. That's too much, and that's surprising. Not everyone is using the internet in the right way. We need to learn how to use it in the right way, and that's the digital well-being. Being in control of technology, crafting and maintaining a healthy relationship with the technology. And as the quotes also mentioned, that's the point to use the internet. You need a certain education, principles of thinking, awareness that we need to use it as a tool of development and not a tool of distraction. Also, I was surprised by the data of the fact that 51.80% of people use social media apps because of boredom. While they can do so many activities instead of staying on social media apps, they can just hang out with their friends, go out, paint, play sports, or whatever. You can do whatever you want, just not staying behind the screen for a long time. There's so many things to do. You need to not be addicted to those social media. You're not getting anything good from it. You're just starting to be insecure of yourself since you're just watching some pictures of ideal persons that what they want to show you on social media. You're not knowing their whole life since they're showing what they want to show. They show like some perfect pictures of them, while that's not the reality. They're using effects, they're using so many things, and you're just being insecure because of your body, because of your face or whatever, and you're just trying to fit onto those social norms, and that's not good. Well, a person who's not living with social media is too much happier than a person who is using it daily. Like if we can just give an example, a simple example of our parents when they were younger, like they were so happy. They were like playing outside. They were having like so many friends since they going out playing football with others. They were knowing the whole neighborhood. But actually, if you can just see, I just وقتها if everyone is staying in his house and we're not just talking with neighborhood, everyone doesn't know each other. We just staying in our houses locked, and we're not talking and we're not having communication as before. We need to control ourselves, and that's the whole point of digital well-being. Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Ilyas, the
Well,
floor is yours.
I'm here, teacher. Well, thank you for allowing me to speak, teacher. So, our generation is facing a serious problem, which is using too much social media. Nowadays, people become antisocial. They are busy with their phones. They don't practice sports, which are very important for their health or going to their family. Furthermore, phones and the internet are tools for us to increase our skills, whatever, soft skills, our professional career, doing business. So that's why the number of succeed people is too low because they don't waste time. They don't waste their time on social media, but they go, for example, to Google and they start searching the best way, for example, to get money, for example, freelancing. So to put the matter in a nutshell, we should reduce using the screen. We should take it like, as I said, by doing other activities in our days. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Ilyas. We hope that people listen to your advice and take it very seriously. Yes, internet is not only for chat, it is not only for social media, but also for research. The positive side, the healthier relationship. Uh, we go to Mr. Ayman, to Afir, before we travel together to Zinab. Okay, Ayman.
So I just want to begin my speech about technology is a sign of development. I just want to say this. It's a sign of prosperity. So using it and following the pace of change is obligatory in this in our life. And normally we cannot compare our situation with the other situation. We are the refugees, and we need to know the skill of using technology, and it becomes a gap. It becomes how different people perceive technology, their vision about technology, and this is how the gap become more and more. And normally I want to add about we've seen a movie, Social Dilemma, and they said when you don't pay for the product, so you are the product. And normally the product, or it's the gradual slight change in your own behavior and perception. And there is just two industries that call their their customers users: illegal drugs and software. So normally when we speak about technology, there are pros and cons. And people, and once again, I just want to return about what Mohammed Sina said about dopamine, about how easy we can get dopamine from using technology. Normally when we use social media, our body secretes dopamine hormone, and it's the easiest way to get it. So it works like a real for us, and we can use it as motivation. We can do our task, and then we can have 1 hour, 3 minutes using social media as a reward, and we can get a dopamine from it. But now it works completely different. We get the dopamine before we do our task, and this is also the boredom how it works. We do our task and we don't do our task, but we go directly to getting the reward, getting the dopamine, using the social media, and now it begins the immortal obsession of social media. Normally, social media intervene also in parenting, and we see this in a lot of videos, as well as the video that we sent in the OCA, how the parents become also addicted, and how parents also they will lack of the role of parenting, and also parents will build poor social competence, poor social development on their children. How the child, the offspring is seeing his parents using technology in a bad way, so they will yield this the consequences. They will yield they will influence him, as we can say. we will put pressure on him, and then we will, the parents will say, how our, how our offspring, how our, kid become like this. Normally, it's your job, and the role of parents. And I will say this, and I will repeat it: the role of parents is not made up for everyone. Not every person can be, can assume the responsibility of, the parents. It's so hard. It's downright hard. Yeah.
All right, so we go to the Zinab, and we close this session. Zinab, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I'm going to be really quick so that everyone can leave in time. So yeah, data shows that people spend undesirable time on their phone more than they actually take steps to reduce their screen time, which shows how a person's mind and actions can come from the same source and yet be so contradictory. I mean, at this certain scale, it scares me. You want to do something, you're thinking about doing something, but your body refuses to do it. Your body is not able to do it. It scares me so much. And I think people who have reached that point are in some kind of danger, because they're more than addicted in that point. I think someone who controls his screen time needs to reach a certain level of responsibility and maturity. Just like Mrs. Adriana said it at this point in her code, when she said that people require education, principle thinking, awareness, and discipline to use the internet in a healthy way, which is basically the definition of digital well-being. You need to control yourself, and in order to control yourself, you need to be responsible. But unfortunately, not like a lot of people have this quality these days. And yeah, that's what I think.
Just say Mohammed Sinan. Okay, so we can have like 2 or 3 minutes. We are already late. So we have.
I just want to add why like social media kills your focus and your attention. In one research that Professor Lori, I don't really remember in which university she teaches, but in one of her studies she find a phenomena called attention residue, and it says basically if now in this session I'm engaging and stuff, and I go to check my phone, and even if I go back and I turn off my phone, it says that there is a residue, a fragment of attention that is still in my phone and what I did there. So your focus is when you use social media is fragmented, and each residue is in place. So I think that's why these days I'm trying to reduce my social media use, because I observed that it really reduced my productivity and my attention and my focus on my priorities. And yeah, that's what I want to say.
Thank you very much, my dear friends. Thanks a lot for the wonderful discussion and the wonderful ideas that you have been shared with us along this time.